Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing? I hope everybody is really doing well. Almost like a we are meeting like almost after 1 week over the live stream. But daily we are having updates on Walsh Wealth Group for LTF and medium term time frame scenarios. So today, before we go down to the lower term time frame, we want to look at what the higher term time frame scenarios for Bitcoin are. So it's going to be very interesting as as we got a dip almost close to 26k, and we bounced from those levels, and we knew that we're going to bounce. If you remember, we longed as well the dip, but we got out at break even, and currently the thing is everybody want to long. We don't want to miss this move on the Bitcoin. So those who have literally missed the move of not getting into Bitcoin around 17k, they are really furious right now that what should we do? We don't want to miss it. But before we go down into the lower term time frame, let's discuss on the higher term time frame, so that what all things do we have in front of our screen or on the charts, what we can see so far, and what can we expect going forward for Bitcoin, guys. So practically, at least you guys should have a plan that where should we buy Bitcoin in case if you have not yet bought anything on the spot. I do hold 25% Bitcoin bag that I bought from 16,800, not hedged at 31,000, because if you remember, I mentioned at that point of time in 2022 around December that this is going to be my long-term bag, and I'm going to sell these Bitcoins for $500,000 a Bitcoin. So this is going to be my long-term bag for like 2024, 2025, and maybe even 2026. So I'm just going to forget about it. However, what I'm going to do is, in case if we literally decides to have one more lows around 11,300, which is a very likely as well, then I will literally transfer those Bitcoin spots to the coin margin contracts, and I will start building long positions not more than 3 times leverage, which gives me more and more comfortness of riding that long positions for a long time. So what do we have in front of our screen, guys? I think few days back, as we remember that what exactly we expect for the Bitcoin, I think this was the chart that we have already discussed. The primary scenario for Bitcoin, in my view, as what I'm seeing so far, is that there is a likelihood that the bottom might be in. However, what I also feel that there is a very high probability that the bottom is not in, and I have those reasons as well. The reasons are very valid. The reason being is that Bitcoin went too deep, literally almost close to the major support that we have for Bitcoin around $14,000. If you look at it from the fibs perspective, close to 886 fibs from the bottom, versus Ethereum is nowhere went close to those levels. It did not even reach 786 fibs, and hence that is my first reason as to where Ethereum and also need to see some more drop to make it more viable, and for people to invest in them rather than just because right now ETH is at $1,900. So if we are expecting new highs, how much more you can expect would be roughly around 10k ETH, fine, but which would be not more than 5x from the current price. Don't make it more attractive for an investor perspective, taking more risk on ETH and getting just 5x gains on the ETH doesn't make sense to me. So we need some more downside on the ETH and a capitulation which is still pending on the ETH, and that's only from the perspective of the Ethereum, guys. Now let's talk about the Bitcoin. You look at this structure that we have. You have 5 waves move down. There is no ABC here. and then you got a good A, B, C on the move up. Again, 5 waves move down here. That's it. It finishes the structure. And then you see a big capitulation candle for the FTX fiasco or whatever you want to name it. But in my view, this 5 waves or this capitulation is nothing but a big trap. That trap is your A, B wave trap, and we did 5 waves for the C wave up. Practically, this is what, you know, the primary scenario we have for Bitcoin. Now, you know, it doesn't make sense as to, you know, for you guys that in case if literally Bitcoin is topped out, then why, you know, we are looking for longs around 23.3 to 23k levels? Why we are only looking for longs at those levels? We will discuss about this coming when we go into the stream and the later part. We want to play the 10-15% move, and I think this is the levels of 23.3, which is definitely going to give us that bounce for 10-15%, which is we don't want to miss it, to miss that swing on the Bitcoin. That's why. So practically, this is what we have for ABC, another ABC, and then I think that the downside impulsive move have already begun with 1, 2, and we are doing 1, 2, 1, 2 most likely. That's going to be 3, 4, and you have got a spring for that for wave 5, and this is most likely going to be end of your, you know, or bottom for Bitcoin, practically, which is where somewhere around 11,284 to 10,800, maybe even sweep the or fill the CME gap around 9,900. But this is how the structure looks like at this point, and this is how the things are very much valid. Till we are under 31,850, we are having this bear case scenario. 31,850 is a very, very crucial levels on Bitcoin, because it is a monthly levels, it is a range low levels, which means that if you do flip 31,850, which is also your 2022 equilibrium, because once the equilibrium is flipped, the price gets acceptance about 31,850, meaning that you get an acceptance. There are buyers who are willing to buy over there, and we don't have any much sellers left in the market, meaning, you know, the price is just going to shoot up, taking liquidity towards $49,000 at that point of time, and maybe even we can go higher towards 64,123 as well. Practically, so 31,850 2022 equilibrium is your big key SR for the overall Bitcoin, you know, bullish perspective. 31,850 in my view. Practically, this is the bear case, and this is still my primary scenario for the Bitcoin, and you know, this is the bear case that we have. Now let's talk about the bull case scenario that we have for Bitcoin. So the bullish case scenario for Bitcoin is somehow, let's say this is your wave C here, and this is not some sort of an irregular flat, and it's a very rare, I would say very, very rare diagonal formation that happened. In my view, this diagonal is not valid. I have the reasons that why it is not valid, because of the fibs. It's not matching with the fibs. It blew past 1618 on the wave 3 ideally, and wave 4 was very, very shallow. In a diagonal, the wave 4 should go to 0.618 or minimum of 0.5 for wave 2 to 3. In here, in this case, it did not happen. So the diagonal, let's say this scenario is valid and we are in the bull run. So let's say the bull run have begun for Bitcoin, and let's say we are bullish. So if the bull run have begun, then you only have one and only one bullish count. You can't get any other bullish count. And what is then one and only one bullish count for Bitcoin is, this is your wave 1 over here. This was your wave 1, this was your wave 2. And another impulsive move that we got is your wave 1 of 3. And we are doing zigzag correction for wave 2. Most likely 23.3 to 23.4 levels is going to be tested. It's going to be tested. And if you happen to be very, very bullish, this level is going to bounce. and give us like a big wave 3. The wave 3 is normally the new highs normally, and that's how Bitcoin gets a very bullish impulsive move going forward. So this is how Bitcoin becomes more and more bullish. This is the only bullish count that I have for Bitcoin. You don't have any other bullish count in my view. Why? Because you might argue with me that T, why do you think that this is the only bullish count? There is a likelihood we retest 18,000 one more time, the way we did in 2019 or maybe even 2020. We might do one more time, retesting the levels of 18,500 going forward. There is a possibility. There's always a possibility. But if it happens, let's say if this happens, I'm damn sure Bitcoin is going to go very, very deep. Why? So as you can see here, the prima facie move looks to me like 5 waves over here. Clearly 5 waves over here, what I can see. And it also respects the fibs, as from this perspective. And this is going to be a very good expanding, diagonal kind of a structure for the 5 waves. So this is a very interesting expanding diagonal, in my view. Now, if you look at from the 5 wave perspective on the Coinbase, if let's say this is the 5 waves and we are bullish, and this is 5 waves, yes, there is a possibility that you will get a bounce from 23.3 towards 29,000 for another 15-20%, one more wave down towards 18,000 bucks, sweep the lows, which is going to be your wave 2, and then you get another wave 1, 2, and an impulsive move like this. Practically, this is how you get another impulsive move, but which is a very less likely. And why do I say which is very less likely? 2 reasons I have. First, for this scenario to play out, for this big wave 2, you don't want Bitcoin to lose again the levels of 21,150. Because if we start losing those levels again, I'm damn sure there's going to be the big sell-off. Why? So just look at from the perspective of where the big people or the smart money accumulated Bitcoin heavily, when we literally dump to those levels. Over here you can see that the smart money accumulated Bitcoin somewhere around to the levels of 19,250, but the value area high, well, people literally want these levels or want this price to hold is 21,850. So 21,850, once it starts losing that levels, people who have bought at 19,300 will start hedging it slowly and gradually, getting a good sell pressure in the market. Hey, hi Illusion, good evening. It's going back to 14k. Likely possibility is there, as I discussed in the beginning of this session. However, what is the current scenario that where exactly people have accumulated heavily from the dump? Currently, if you see, the overall accumulation price is at 16,840. If you remember, 16,800 is also my accumulation, is where I bought 25% of my USDT into Bitcoin at 16,800. I'm just holding it right now. Even if it goes to new lows, I'm just going to keep on holding. I'm not going to take any profits because it's my long-term bag. I am going to sell one Bitcoin for $500,000 inshallah, and I think it's a possibility. It's a likely. I've already discussed the chart with gold. So currently, the value area high is where people will start shaking out, would be 21,850 to 22,400. Any closure under this, any acceptance under this on the daily levels would be very bad for the Bitcoin, because people are literally going to start hedging those bags. But what might literally happen is, in my view, the levels where everybody is going to start panicking is 21,150. It's a big support, guys. Previously, this level has been a very big levels in my view. So once we start going at 21,150, 21,200, Bitcoin, literally people are going to start shaking out, and most likely we're going to see some big dump on the market towards 18k likely. But still, it is not going to give me a vibe that we are literally bullish, because that would confirm a biasness of being very much bearish, because that would also mean that this is 1, 2, 1, 2, and we are starting a big wave 3 on the downside. The volume is going to kick in out of nowhere, and 3 wave sweep the lows, 4 and 5, something like this makes more sense. This would confirm that the vertical move on the downside for the Bitcoin is 1 2 1 2 of some sort. If what we observed few days back, on the you see here on the lower term time frame, it's exactly the move that we have literally you know monitored. Let me show you over here. Look at it. It's a common move, guys. Very common move. It's a vertical. This kind of an accumulation when it happens, we see that this is the bull flag, and it's going to pump up like this one more time. So very much possibility. But this kind of a move turns out to be the very much bearish. 1 2 1 2, and then keeps on going down for the wave 3 here, 4 and 5. This is how it normally goes. And post probability is there. Look at the volume. The volume was pretty much going down when we were going upside, and pretty much when we were going down, it was the volume is literally going down. Suddenly out of nowhere, a big flash dump, a red candle, pops up out of nowhere. Look at the volume over here. Every move on the upside, the volume is still going down, down, down. And when we are going down from the top of 31,000 something, the volume is still going down, which means that we are most likely going to get a big volatility move very soon on the Bitcoin, guys. You just have to pack your bags when it happens. So practically, you got the bullish case. I've discussed the bear case scenario. The bear case is, that the top is in for the Bitcoin. 31,850 is where is the big levels for Bitcoin. Till we are under those levels, we are bearish, and we are expecting more downside. The bull case scenario, as I mentioned, we need to hold 23.3 for 1212, and we pop up towards highs, might go to 18k, hold those levels of 18k, and then we pop up to the highs. But for now, I'm more favoring for the bear case scenario on the Bitcoin rather than bull case, as I've already explained my reasoning. So now this was all for Bitcoin on the higher term time frame. Now let's go on to the lower term time frame as to what exactly we are expecting on Bitcoin. So ladies and gentlemen, on the Bitcoin on the lower term time frame, as you can see here, right now, the structure is very clean. This is your a corrective B wave here, and this is your C wave over here. Now don't argue with me that Taha, this instead of C, this can be WXY. No, the X for Y wave, it should be ABC. I don't clearly see ABC over here. It's in my view, this is some sort of a C wave, and we have already started. This is our top, and we have started, in my view, it's 5 waves down, 3 waves up. So practically this is 1, 3 waves is 2, 1 2 3 4 and 5. Practically this is another 3 wave. B can be regular flat, a retest of 27,100 bucks, reject one more time, go to the levels of 26,400 to 26,350. From there, the 5 waves finishes, and we start pumping up back up towards the levels of 27,800 to 27,900. This is exactly where we are looking for shorts, and after that it further dumps to the levels like this. This is how my lower term time frame move on the Bitcoin is, guys. So we are having our short orders laid around 27.8, 27.9. Also going to take the same trade on the challenge soon. So this is what I expect on the lower term time frame. Now for the longs, I would like to long Bitcoin on the sweep of the red line that you are seeing. The red line is a big levels, guys. 26,496. Anything under this levels, 26,400, 26,390 is a big levels in my view, and we can literally long from there to 27,900 practically is what I expect. We will see some sort of a sell-off from those levels again, going back down towards 24,300 to 23,800 bucks, guys. So this is what we have on the lower term time frame for Bitcoin. Let's talk about the Ethereum, guys. So far Ethereum has been respecting very nicely. Now why, as I mentioned few minutes back, as to why I feel the bearish count on the Bitcoin is most likely going to play out, is because Ethereum did not even reach its 786 pips from the top, meaning that Ethereum has a big move pending on the downside. An impending move, what I'm watching for the ETH is something like this. A big bear flag formation is happening at this moment. The top might be in for the bear flag, as we have already swept the lows. But what I think is that there is a very likelihood of being a very complex correction might play out here for ETH, a very complex correction. And what do you mean by the complex correction? The complex correction can be that it dumps down towards 1300, hold the levels, pumps up one more time like this to 2400 and 2500, and then we start dumping down like this, which would also indicate that this move is wave A, B, and C, irregular flat for the wave B, and then you get one more push up for the wave C, and after that it just keeps on dumping towards $400 and maybe even can go to $322. But this bear flag is very, very valid. There are two possibilities with this bear flag. The two possibilities with the bear flag is either the top is in because we have already swept the highs in 5 waves, or we're just going to have one more move down towards 1350 levels or the previous all-time highs of 1280, retest those levels, respect the range that we have, and boom, pump it up back up. It's a very likelihood that we might do something like this for this bear flag kind of a thing. So and this is the bear case for the ETH on the Hartman time frame. The bullish case for ETH on the Hartman time frame is this is your ABC. Okay, the bottom is in. The bottom is in for the ETH. This was your wave 1. This is A, irregular flat B, and you get one more move down towards previous all-time highs of somewhere around to close to $1,280 for the wave C. Hold it up, fake breakdown, and it pumps up for the wave 1, 2, 1, come back down, 2, and the new pump starts. So that is how we go for a very good horizontal accumulation for Ethereum. It keeps on accumulating this way and just pumps it up like this. This is the most bullish case that we have. So in both the bull and bear case, one thing is 1280 is a good levels for us to buy ETH and hold for a medium term time frame trade for another 2-3 months, going to likely give us a good bounce from 1280 to 2400. Likelihood is there, but once 1280 is lost, meaning your stop loss is 1280, your entry is 1280, but your stop loss, you're going to have a manual stop loss over here on ETH on the Hartman time frame, meaning if the 1280 levels is lost on the daily and 3 days, well, of course you're going to close your trade, wait for more confirmation, and just enter the short on the retest of the breakdown and then let it ride. Or if it reclaim the 1280 again, you get back inside the Ethereum and let it ride towards $2,400. So you have two scenarios on ETH. Bear case I have already explained. Bull case, this is here, or the bull case scenario for ETH. Now let's talk about the lower time frame for ETH, guys. A similar kind of a flag structure is already there on the Hartman time frame. A very much kind of a bull flag structure formation is there on ETH on the lower time frame. Now you might feel that the bull flag structure is like a breakdown, that we have already breakdown from the flag over here. Yes, feel that we have already broken up, not broken down, sorry, my mistake. So we have already broken up from our this thing, from the flag structure, or something like a nice breakout. What I feel is clearly you have 5 waves move, ABC, and then again 5 waves move. Now this can be 1 2 1 2, and this was your ABC wave on the upside. This is 1 2 1 2. A small retest of 1890 and 1891 is where I would like to short, my friends, for ETH. A dump down like this would take it towards 1689, a big level of support, retest, and go one more down. Now this is going to form a very interesting, and a very reliable, I would say, a bullish wolf waves formation, which is a very reliable and a very, very strong formation in my view. So practically, if we do happen to get a one more push up towards on ETH, simply towards 1890 to 1891, with your invalidation above 1912, I'm going to short it, and I'm going to take the profit somewhere around the zone of $1,700 and 1689. Can even go straight away towards the March equilibrium of $1,610, which is very likely. This is what we have for the low-term time frame on ETH, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's talk about the about some of the indexes. The first indexes we're going to discuss is total DeFi. The total DeFi is, if you remember, I mentioned when we literally here are 55 billion, I mentioned exit the total DeFi because it's going to them. I am seeing a very interesting, ascending triangle formation is happening on the total DeFi. Now, what does it mean is that total DeFi, it's doing most likely A, B, C, meaning that this was your big A, B, C, D, one more small down, and we're going to form a triangle kind of a structure for the wave B, and we pump up towards 76 to 78 billion for the wave C. And this is how total DeFi, big bullish structure forms. Very likely, if we go down some retest like this and then pump it up like this, a big breakdown, a breakup for the total DeFi, and from there we start coming back down like this to our accumulation zone one more time. But this is how I see total DeFi. The invalidation levels for the total DeFi is very, very close. It's 38.85 billion. Yes, I'm holding RSR, my friends. The 18K is likely, as I mentioned. So this is how the total DeFi looks like. Let's talk about but one more thing as we need to understand is on the one side, as we are saying, the total DeFi might go up, which also contradict from what we have the bear case scenario for Bitcoin. Meaning if Bitcoin literally starts going sideways a little bit, we might literally get a strong push on the total DeFi. However, if Bitcoin literally start breaking, as we say that, we are coming to apex of, the apex point of the Bitcoin, and a big candle is going to come out of nowhere for the Bitcoin, then it would mean that total DeFi is also going to break down. Meaning that if you are literally looking to long for DeFi coins, you literally should not play more than 2% of your capital with the DeFi coins, and just don't put your money in more than 2 to 3 coins. It doesn't make sense. Play and ride one by one. That's how you rotate your profits. I have checked OP chart. I'm just going to go to the OP as well. Don't worry. You see the plan for the total overall total 2, guys. We are literally holding the $550 billion levels. The 550 billion is a very crucial levels, guys, and it's been a very, very important levels in my view. Still, we are above these levels. We are very much bulls for total 2, practically also in Ethereum. However, we are still having a big level of resistance around 582 billion. So what you want to see is one more sweep down like this on the total 2 and reclaim it back would be great. It reclaims, we run it towards 612 billion again. However, we lose this and it's just going to go towards 2018 all-time highs, because remember the total crypto market cap, total 3, what we are talking about. Where is the total 3? This is the mask. I've already put my chart in the Wall Street group. Total 3 here. Look at total 3 right now also are very weak, because total 3 have already lost the 2017 or 2018 all-time highs, as you can say 2017 or 2018, but it has lost it, and so far it's been acting as a strong resistance at this moment. So practically if even total 2 starts doing something like that, losing 550 billion, we're literally going to go towards 2018 all-time highs, and maybe when we go to sweep the lows and go towards $400 billion. So you just have to be just play the levels at this point. A 550 billion sweep and reclaim, long everything on the Ethereum and alts. Reject, we start shorting the retest of $550 billion. That's how we play for total 2. Total 3 is out of the question at this point. Total, I have already mentioned this kind of a chart. I posted this chart then when we were literally around $1 trillion. I would like to see total. There are 2 possibilities over here. I would like to see total doing something like this, one more wave down and forming a very interesting bullish wolf waves, giving us a very interesting, a very interesting bullish wolf waves, and go towards $1 trillion. $1 trillion. $1 trillion to $990 billion is where I would like to see some sort of a relief bounce for the overall market. and can even go towards 1.18 trillion dollars. So practically, and after that, either this is going, as I mentioned, if we are bulls, we hold here, and the market starts, making, higher highs, and not lower lows, but higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and it's going to keep on pumping up. So practically, this is going to be a turning point for total, the 1 trillion to $990 billion is a turning point, and that's exactly where I'm eyeing to long Bitcoin and Ethereum at those levels. 23.3 is what I'm eyeing for Bitcoin, and 1690 to 1700 is what I'm eyeing for Ethereum. Total 3 big harmonic, bullish harmonic on total 3. If you're saying that you have this harmonic on total 3, if you're looking for this harmonic, this is like this harmonic you're talking about. If you're talking about this harmonic, it seems bullish. I'm not denying it seems bullish. The only problem with the total 3 is I don't see that it's just going to go here if we are bullish. Why? Because 2 reasons I have. First, the move on the upside was in 3 waves, A, B, and C clearly. This can be a very interesting, this can be very interesting wave A or something, another A, B, and the 5 waves on the downside. So the 5 waves would be 1, 2, a 3 can never be so small, and I don't see big volume on the dump so far. But let's say if this is wave 3 and this is 4, you're going to see one more sweep down and take the liquidity on the downside towards 315 over here, just the liquidity pool, and you get a big 3 type setup. A first test, a sweep, which is also known as your spring, a retest like this, hold up, a run back up, and sweep the highs to the range resistance. This is going to be a very perfect ABC in my view. But for that, we need to go towards under $320 billion, which is a very, very likely in my view. So I would like to see that. I would like to see the sweep of the previous wick that we have here. But if you're literally bouncing, let's say if you don't sweep the lows, and I have seen many alts, it just keeps on bouncing from 330 billion. Let's say if it just bounce from the range highs, like this range highs of 330 to 336, practically we don't go under that deep. It bounces and just pumps it back up like this toward the range equilibrium. Very bearish. It means that it's just going to do something like this. It's going to be wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another. So the 3-step setup is going to be literally invalidated. So you have bull and bear case both. You want to clearly see a sweep of this previous lows and go to 320 billion under, and we want to run up high. So friends, if you really like the analysis, and if you're not trading on Bybit, do open an account on Bybit using the link mentioned in the description, or you can go to my Twitter page and give me a like and follow and opening a Bybit account. Remember, if you're trading on Bybit, you need to have a KYC level 1, which is very simple and not a big deal. And yeah, it's open for the European countries as well. Thank you, Sarunas Sudominai, for okay, cool. Thanks for the confirmation, Illusion. So this is what I have for the overall, total 3 and Bitcoin and Ethereum as we discussed. Now let's have a look for a few of the alts. I think XRP, I'm looking for a long on XRP, or even if it is for a scalp, I'm looking to execute a long position on XRP around 49.3. 49.3 with a stop under 48.5, and I'm eyeing something like this kind of a move on XRP towards 54.7 to 56 cents. It's a very, very likely in my view for the XRP. So I think XRP looks really great in my view. One more push up from here, and I'm going to short this shit over here because overall the structure is 5 waves move down, ABC move up, and then 5 waves move down towards 33 cents. Makes more sense for me for XRP. Flipping 57 cents on XRP, you flip 57 cents and XRP is going to pump to $1, my friend. Yes, you hear me right. And I'm literally going to go big in XRP if it flips 57 cents. Because then it would open doors for $1 and maybe even more, but $1 seems very, very likely and logical as well. So this is what I have for XRP. Talking about over here for reserve right. I'm still holding my spot bags. I bought at 37, 0.0037. Literally this levels I bought. Yes, I'm the underwater right now by 20-25% on this RSR. I did not want to sell with our stop loss of 18%. I'm just going to hold it. Why? Because I think that the move over here is clearly A, B, and C. Can even have irregular flag, but I'm most likely going to see it retesting the levels of 35 and maybe even 37 at some point, going to give us either a good exit, break-even exit, or it just breaks up and start pumping back up. If you look at from the perspective of the heart and time frame on RSR, I do think that we're not going to see a big break on the upside till it sweep the lows. Practically, you need to have slight patience, you know, my friends. So for RSR, what I personally feel is we need to sweep the lows, and once it sweep the lows, it's just going to run back up the way, you know, Swipe did, the way Waves did, and the way Zilliqa did at that point of time. It's a very, very good, you know, structure that I am seeing so far. Even if it sweep this lows, I'm going to add more to improve my what do you say, average, and maybe this is how I would like to see it, just going to pump up like this once it literally starts sweeping the lows on RSR. So I'm just patiently going to wait for it. But however, as I mentioned, if I do happen to get a retest of 37, 0.0037 levels, which is where I bought it, I'm going to literally sell my RSR at those points. I'm just going to wait for a big breakout. So practically at that point, I'm going to literally exit my RSR at that point. Talking about Solana, guys, if you remember, a very nice impulsive move on the Solana happened. I literally gave a long 18.9 on the challenge, took profits at 19.1 at that point of time from the pump. But my target for the Solana, this looks amazing on the 4 hours. It's a very good bullish wolf waves on the Solana, and it looks amazing in my view. Now, if this is bullish wolf waves on the Solana over here, what you want to see is, you know, ABC move. Practically, we do something like this: A retest of 19.3 again, and C wave impulsive move towards 25 cents, of making a very interesting big triangle. This kind of a triangle, I've already mentioned it, that we have seen the similar kind of a triangle on Litecoin as well. And yes, Litecoin is very, very bullish. If you remember, I mentioned 88 is a very good levels, guys. And it bounced from the 88 and went to $92. It's a good level for a, you know, a Litecoin. It's going to pump most likely towards 94, 95, and can even straight go to $100 from here. Trust me. But this is a very, very good for Litecoin. Now the structure slightly changes on the Litecoin over here. What I think Litecoin is most likely going to do from here is this is slightly going to reject, pump it back up, makes higher highs, go to the good swing, reject, come back down, take the liquidity on the downside, and then pump it back up, forming a very, very, very interesting, either, you know, a very, very interesting A, B, C move on the upside. And this is going to be the blast of wave D. Retest might not even happen, and just pump it back up like this for 125. So this can be the bearish triangle as well. Of course, the triangle, it can be bullish and bearish both, but the most likely outcome is bullish in my view at this point for Litecoin. A similar kind of a triangle might form on Solana as well. It is still too early to say that this kind of triangle might form, but yes, this kind of a triangle is very likely on the Solana as well. Any retest of, in my view, for Sol around 19.7 to 19.5 will be a very good levels for you guys to buy a bag for Sol, with the stops under 18.9 and a target of $24. Now let's talk about, you know, Ocean. Ocean is where people are literally going nuts. Yes, guys, Ocean have successfully broken out of this big accumulation, and you are seeing a good volume as well on the Ocean on the day 4 hours, and as well as on the daily time frame as well. But this triangle is not valid in my view. You know, it's not valid. I don't see such sort of a, you know, small triangles. But what I can see so far is the move on the Ocean can be, you know, that this is A, this is B, and this is C wave move towards 53 cents on the Ocean. and then it come back down like this to 20 cents. So I don't think ocean is done here, guys. But if it happens to give us a dip 1 2 1 and 2 for the ocean, and this dip would be very lovely dip for the ocean around 34.7 to 34.9, a good levels for ocean. And maybe even if it gives a dip around 32 cents, amazing, it's a good buy. And the target would be somewhere around 50.5 to 51.8. From there I think it's just going to dump like this anyways. But yeah, ocean I think is going to pump. So do not look for shots. If you're looking for sweep of the lows, no, it's not going to happen from this point. It can even straight pump to 52 cents from here as well, in case if wave 2 is in. I'm just going to look at the daily and saying that there's a likelihood we might get one more dip. I'm not sure if it's just going to give you the dip. The 2 might be shallow as well, but yeah, the ocean is at least for now it's bullish. Talking about one of the alt that I like it to place a scalps on this one. It's a shit coin, and the coin name is Pepe. But now I think it has got my attention because it went very much close to 0.886 Fibonacci levels, guys. And this shit coin, and remember, when we are bouncing from the 0.886 Fibonacci levels, this can indicate a very 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 good potential bottom for Pepe. As you can see here, we might form a diagonal. We might literally have a diagonal over here, and this diagonal is pretty much valid in my view. It's valid, yeah. It's a very interesting diagonal over here. It's a very interesting bullish wolf face. So if we are literally holding above 12.720, I think Pepe would be the last coin. We retest one more time these levels, and it just pumps like this, reject, pump, and it goes up like this. Everybody's going to get nuts. So they're going to scream that we're going to new highs and thing and blah blah shit. But this is going to act like an exit liquidity, and after that it dumps to the new lows. So this is what I see for the Pepe. But remember, the invalidation should be very tight for this. In case if we do happen to get a sweep to 886 Fibonacci levels, it's going to be the good levels to long with a very, very tight stop loss. Your stop loss should be not more than 6%, and hence your risk should be managed in my view. But this is the bullish case for Pepe. The bearish case is, as I mentioned, this is ABC. One more sweep down like this for the Pepe, and then we can have a run up like this on the Pepe. So that's what I have for now on the overall market. SNX is the coin that I've already mentioned on my on my corner in Walsh Wealth Group, guys. When we were literally here on the SNX, I mentioned that I would like to see a rejection from 0.5, a pullback, and a run up to a 702 is where I would like to see a big rejection and a short, and it should dump probably to the new lows towards 2.1 and maybe even to $2. It perfectly played out. Perfect rejection from the 702. I missed it for the challenge because I was slipping, but this would have given a very interesting 8 to 9% move on the downside for SNX, perfectly playing out the plan that we have laid down. So guys, I think this is what I have. The last chart for today is going to be STG is what I think I was discussing with Rays. I mentioned that this is the levels where I would like to buy in case if you really want to buy. We hold these levels, it can literally pump like this, but I doubt it will pump because the volume is not looking that interesting. Let's go to the last chart. It's Tomo. So Tomo is on the 4 hours looking great. It already had a good pump, but remember, whenever we get such sort of a big pump, you always get a retracement move. Now if you really would like to know what exactly Tomo is going to do, check RNDR, check Kawa, check waves. These are the 3 charts. These are the 3 L's that recently had these kind of a big move on the upside. These were the L's. So practically, if let's say Tomo, I think the best way to get a good bounce on Tomo is to sweep this lows, go literally under the levels of 1.198. It go under these levels and you get a nice bounce, and the bounce can be anything. It can give you 20% bounce, 15% bounce. Might even do something like this. and 1.7 one more time, and then further dump like this. Now this is the similar kind of a move that I was anticipating for Kawa as well, and it literally played out. Kawa did the same kind of a thing. You see, we sweep this lows, we went this lows, had a nice move of 15% on the upside, and then further down. A similar kind of a move I'm expecting of for Tomo as well. Now look at the RNDR, USDT, perhaps. I think RNDR also had a very similar kind. If I'm not wrong, RNDR, yeah, RNDR. It had a very similar kind of a move, a very similar. You see. So what it did is you got a wick up, and it just dumped like this, and sweep the lows that we have here. The liquidity was grabbed just by hair, and start pumping back up with a very interesting ABC 3 waves, and it just went down like this. So similar kind of a move that we can expect from for Tomo as well, guys. I think Tomo would be looking to go good in my view once we start taking liquidity under 1.24 and 1.19 levels. This would be making it a very good interesting levels along. So if you're literally buying the liquidity of under 1.24, from here you can expect at least 40% move on the Tomo, and you can, if you can have further capital to accumulate, let it sweep 1.19, and you will get another 48% move on the upside. Practically this is a likelihood in my view. This is what I expect for Tomo, ladies and gentlemen. So that is all I have for now. So the last chart, last chart. Anyways, my friend wants me to chart OP, Boris. No problem. We're going to do the OP as well. I think I have the chart for OP. I charted it like a month back or somewhere like that. I'm not sure, but I did had a chart for OP. I was having a regular exponential flat for the OP. So right now OP has lost a very important levels, guys, and the very important levels for OP was 1.575. So we have lost these levels particularly. Now what is the structure that we have? Let's just identify the structure for now. So we have a support on OP. This is where the support is exactly. You have a good support. The volume is high on this pump, on this dump. Let us check it. The move can be A, the pump is B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can be A, B, C. Now for confirming, we need to look for the fibs. Yeah, the wave 3 literally went till 1618, which is the final extension of the overall move, and this can be the local bottom or a temporary bottom like this. One more sweep, and most likely going to have a retest of around 1.7 from here. If it is the bottom, then it will pump. I think it should reject and go one more down like this. But what are the levels where it should find a bottom? I think it would be 786 to 886. But if it goes to 786 to 886, that don't make sense. A wave 2 normally don't retrace to 786 to 886. It normally mounts from the golden pocket zone and max to 702, which also indicates that if just in case if Tomo literally does something like this and goes to 886, OP does something like this and it turns out it goes to 886, this would be really bearish. Meaning any pump on OP like this, even if it goes up like this to 2.25, it's going to dump like this. So you don't want to see it going to 886. You want to see 786 holding very nicely. It can go to 786, which is fine, but you don't want to see going to 886, because normally, and when an asset goes to 886 straight away, that 886 is likely going to be your some sort of a corrective move. So this is what we have for OP. Last chart, and I'm not giving any financial advice on this one, okay, and I'm just going to show you over here. I think I posted in the Walsh Wealth D general chat, okay. There is one shitcoin which is named as Refund, and I don't know anything about this coin, but it literally went to 78 million market cap, okay. This is a deck screener, and I bought it yesterday. I posted in the Walsh Wealth group D general channel. I'm looking to buy around 886 Fibonacci levels or close to those levels. Yesterday, from yesterday buy, it went 63% up. My expectation for this shitcoin is, first of all, technical analysis don't work on the shitcoins, trust me, because it's fairly new. But what I see so far is this is A, this is B, 1, 2, a big volume coming up here for the wave 3, 4, and wave 5. Practically what I feel is the bottom might be in, and if it can flip up like this to 786, it can literally have a good run like this. There's a possibility is always there. So just wanted to share my thoughts on this shitcoin. Honestly, I don't give any financial advice on this. Just do your own research on this shitcoin. But I'm having a small bag. I just put 4 ETH on this. Further, this is our Bybit challenge account over here, the Bybit challenge. As you can see, the balance for now for the Bybit challenge, it went till $1,300, but unfortunately, we got some stop loss on Bitcoin. It was a good short. It made literally 7 hour, would have made $80 if I would have not sleep, but did not went exactly to my take profit and bounced off from those levels. So I lost it. If you remember, we shorted here. Here we shorted, not here exactly. Where exactly did we short? Here, this level. We shorted this. It went down. I was expecting it to just dump like this straight to the entry, and took our stop loss and then dump. In fact, this dump, we would have made clearly, I would say, a very interesting 7 hour. We were $80 in profit and turned out to be $20 loss, stop loss. So the balance is 1,253 at this point, 25% up. I'm having my XRP short limit order for the challenge, and soon going to give long limits for Bitcoin as well, and short limits for Bitcoin as well for the challenge. So yep, that's all guys. If you like to support the work, do trade on the Bybit, create an account using the link. Thanks a lot, and if you have any questions, do ping me or tag me in Walsh Wealth group, or you can tag me on the Twitter as well. Thanks a lot.